How are you all? The latest show, it might be the latest true crime show on YouTube here with Nights with Ping. Good to see you all on this Thursday night. Danny Mitchell, good to see you, Danny. Gayla's here, Diane Marie, Kathy Lynch, Marilyn Landis, Marlene Clausen, and that's it for tonight. I guess everyone's on holidays. Everyone's having a big holiday. That's okay. You guys can have a holiday. I went on a holiday like a week ago, so that's fine. Diane, Diamond, Diane, Diamond, no, Diamond Heart. How are you? Good to see you. Diane Marie says, curious to know how the kiddies are feeling. Ping. Uh Rory's doing okay. She sort of got over it now. She's got over her surgery from last week, and she's got over the cat cold, whatever she had. But Muffin has copped it today. He was sneezing yesterday. Today he's not sneezing anymore, but he just seems very congested and annoyed. He's annoyed that he's ill. Um, he's far away from Dad now, which is weird because he's been clingy as hell since we got home. He's over the other side of the house, away from Dad. He does this when he's sick. He'll stay away from all the humans so we don't take him to the vet. He gets scared that we're going to pick him up and take him to the vet. Um, yeah, we haven't either. Apparently, we might be doing something on Monday. Monday? Yeah, on the 30th. What day is that? Monday. So Monday here. Yeah, yeah. So on Monday we might be doing something with family, but it's a really annoying because if we had done it on the 25th on Christmas, we would have got to see the bride and groom from the wedding we were just at. They were supposed to be back in Melbourne. They would have headed to the in-laws' place for Christmas, but they're heading on their honeymoon this week. So I guess we're not going to see them. It's really sad. I would have liked to have caught up with them because at the wedding, it's so busy. There's so many people there. I mean, there must have been 70, 80 people. They all want to talk to the bride and groom. And yeah, so you didn't get to see them very much, and it would have been nice to catch up with them in a private setting. Um, Wait, hold on. I'll ask. Sorry, I was just double checking whether we'd heard if they're definitely not going to be there. I don't think they are. I think they said their plans were to go on their honeymoon. So, all right. I don't think we're going to see them, which is annoying. Which we probably won't see them till Easter now. So, I can sympathize with people who have sick family members and can't do Christmas because that's exactly what happened to us. Rachel, good to see you. Jeanette, how are you? Good to see you, Jeanette. Not sleeping so well. Not sleeping well, so listening while I doze. Okay, thank you. Lindy, hey Lindy, good to see you. I hate mornings. Sienna's here. April B, Marilyn Landis, and I hate mornings. Good to see all of you. All right, shall we do some true crime? Shall we get the camera on? Okay, we could do that. The very sad thing is it seems like every year we run this race. So if you're not from Australia or you're not into yacht races, you may not know what this is. It's sort of like the America's Cup, but it's like the Australian version. And on Boxing Day every year, a whole bunch of yachts take off from Sydney and they go down the east coast of Australia to Tasmania, where I was 2 weeks ago. They're actually heading to Hobart, though. I was in the north end of Tasmania. They're heading to the south capital of Tasmania. They call it the Sydney to Hobart yacht race, and it has a very checkered history. It has a very bad history for summer storms building through Victoria and New South Wales, and then exploding off the coast of the east coast of Australia and affecting the yachts. Well, news started filtering through late last night that unfortunately two sailors had died in very similar ways. Actually, it sounds like both of them had been struck by a boom, which is a large horizontal pole at the bottom of the sail of the yacht. So it's a big mainsail that giant pole. I'm guessing if that's whipping around in the wind, that would hurt. It sounds like at least one of them, they tried to do CPR, but that CPR, was unsuccessful. And unfortunately, they passed away. One of them, here's one of them. His name is Nick Smith. He's 65 years of age. He was one of two people who passed away. And he was from the Bowline. So that's the South Australian boat. And yeah, it sounds like, according to police, a vessel was moving downwind, which requires a zigzag maneuver through the ocean called, I'm not even going to pronounce this. Is it called a jibbing? I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Where the boom sweeps across the deck with every change of direction. So it kind of whips across the deck as the boat changes in a zigzag motion. It's understood Mr. Smith was operating the ropes at the time, which helped allow the sail to change direction when he was hit by the boom. And he suffered some sort of catastrophic injury that killed him, basically. I do have another article here we can go to if it'll load up, which with more details. But this particular race has a real checkered history. Back in 1998, I actually showed you some footage, maybe last year, of another massive storm that basically affected the entire Sydney to Hobart. And there was even a tornado out in the water that a bunch of yachts were sailing past. And yeah, so it's not abnormal for crazy weather to affect the yacht race, but it is sort of abnormal for people to die. Two people in a similar fashion, both hit by booms on their boat. It's pretty awful. You hope that after 30 years that they would have figured out a way where most people survive this trip, but seems like no. Seems like that's a no. Here. It says two experienced sailors died after they were hit in the head with sail booms during the prestigious Sydney to Hobart yacht race, with two yachts now crime scenes as police work to figure out how the tragedies occurred. Two men on different boats, one the Flying Fish Arctos, I hope I'm pronouncing that right for the memory of that man, and the Bowline. So the Bowline was the first one we talked about. They say they died just hours apart in pitch black waters off the New South Wales south coast as they tried to change the sails on the yachts. Roy Quaden, 55, had travelled from Western Australia for the event and had been a keen sailor for the better part of 2 decades. He was working the role of navigator on the Flying Fish, and it was his job to keep the yacht on track and guide the crew down the east coast. And unfortunately, he got hit. It's very sad. They're saying this year's crew included a number of veterans from previous years, as well as an international crew of trainees competing in the race as a personal challenge. They say just before midnight, as the crew worked to change the sail, it swung out and hit Mr. Quaden in the head, causing significant injuries. They say early investigations suggest that those vessels may have been changing sails at the time, so they weren't actually sailing with the wind. They say that creates a whole different set of circumstances, so that may have contributed to the deaths. They say his crewmates attempted CPR and immediately notified police, who rushed by boat to their aid from Port Kembla, and they got told to basically stop sailing and head into the nearest port. And there is a map I can show you of where they got told to basically come in, if I can find it. Yeah, no, not here. All right, sorry, I'll grab it. See how it goes. Yeah, this one, maybe this one has the map that we want. It does not. Apparently, we're doing great today. We're doing great today with all the websites. There we go. Nope. All right, so apparently I, for some reason, don't have it anymore. Good work, Ping. Good work. You're great at this. Good work at doing a show. Yeah, I'll bring you the update from the police. So, 2 die in separate incidents in Sydney to Hobart yacht race from the ABC.
Just before midnight last night, the Australian Maritime Safety Authority received the first Mayday call from a vessel, from a yacht named Flying Fish Arctos. It had requested urgent assistance as one of the crew members had been struck in the back of the head by the boom. The boom is a part of the vessel that attaches the sail to the mast. It was moving violently through the night with challenging sea conditions, and a crew member suffered a significant head injury. Port Kembla Water Police was deployed to that vessel to assist them, and then overnight has escorted that vessel back into Jervis Bay this morning. Unfortunately, that male person is now deceased. The second incident occurred at 2:30 this morning from another vessel. The vessel is called Bowline and was positioned 30 nautical miles east-northeast of Bateman's Bay. It had suffered a similar incident to the first vessel, where a crew member had again suffered a head injury caused by the moving boom from the sailing vessel. It again had struck that crew member in the head, and that vessel was requesting urgent assistance. The New South Wales Police vessel Nemesis was in short range to that vessel and deployed immediately to that location. The crew did a pretty substantial job of doing CPR, trying to keep that crew member alive, but their efforts were unfortunately met with the death of that person in the early hours of this morning. A second member was injured. He had a suspected broken shoulder, dislocated shoulder. We successfully medevaced that person onto a police vessel and into a waiting ambulance.
That's not all. Apparently, a third sailor was knocked off their boat or picked up by the wind and put into the water. They found them many hours later and they're okay. But what a scary situation that would have been. Imagine getting blown off a yacht straight into the dark water off New South Wales. I don't think I wish that on anyone in the world. I think that would be frightening. And but they were able to pick him up later on. Yeah, I can show you that. By the way, it's Bowline or Bowline or whatever they said. Good work, Ping. They say how a third Sydney to Hobart sailor almost died in 3 a.m. horror. It's one of the most terrifying experiences you can have. This guy survived, luckily. They say details have emerged of a terrifying incident off the Sydney to Hobart yacht Porco Rosso, which had to recover a crew member swept more than a kilometer overboard on a deadly night of racing. They say the sailor was blown overboard as the 2013 handicap winner, formerly known as Victoria, I hope that's correct, made her way past Green Cape on the New South Wales coast in strong winds that had been forecast. And they said David Jacobs, who is the Vice Commodore of the Cruising Yacht Club of Australia, which administers the race, said, "That is one of the most terrifying experiences you can have." Yeah, I reckon. Do you think it, like, you're 1 minute on a boat and the next you're in the water in 3 a.m. in the morning? It's not like you got a esky to cling to, like those fishermen that go down on the boats that sink, and they're like, "Oh my god, I found an esky." This guy just got blown off the boat and he's just like, well, now I'm in the water. I think, yes, that would be quite frightening. And they said it was at night, which makes it tenfold more scary. Have you seen the sharks that are off the New South Wales coast? I'd be very afraid too. They said, fortunately, there are developed systems and procedures that cater for that situation to retrieve the person. Yeah, apparently they have like an EPIRB attached to their life emergency jacket. So if they fall into the water and it hits water, it activates and you can send a signal and they can find them. So apparently they found them pretty quickly, but they were 1.2 k's away from the boat. That's how fast the currents and the waves move out there. Like being 1.2 k away, it's not like they would have been able to catch the boat even by swimming. Not a chance. They're saying here the AMSA deployed emergency aircraft to begin searching for that crew member. They had, we believe, been washed away about 1.2 k away from the boat. They said the crew member was located. The yacht opted to retire around 4:45 a.m. rather than continue into the Bass Strait. where strong to gale force winds were uh, probably going to demolish them if they headed into there. So in this yacht race, sometimes you have different size yachts. Some are like super maxis, some are smaller, and you get all these variety of sizes. Sometimes when this weather really gets whipped up, these smaller yachts can't take it, and sometimes they have to make a decision like this to retire. They're just like, hey, for everyone's safety, it's probably best that we just don't keep going and we go to the nearest, you know, retirement point and get ourselves out of the race, especially with a crazy incident like a sailor being blown overboard. So unfortunately, another crazy year for the Sydney to Hobart. 2 dead, 1 blown overboard. I mean, water temperature is probably pretty hot. I don't think it would have been freezing because it's not that cold here. I can have a look. Sydney. Can see if we can see what the ocean temperatures are today. I don't know how deep they do this, so it really depends. They're in like open ocean, so it may be different. This is in Sydney, so they're saying I don't know. I would like to know what it's like in the ocean, not really like near Sydney, more like, 50 Ks off the coast. But they're saying it's 22.5 degrees in the water. I'd be surprised if it's the same, you know, temperature off the coast though. Hotels.com. I don't want any hotels. Let's see. Anything else? Current temperature. I think it's air temperature. So yeah, they're saying ocean water temperature Sydney in March. No, January. They're saying the average water temperature is warm. 21.4 degrees is the minimum. Average 24.2. Maximum 26.6 around this time of year. So it's warm. I mean, but at 3 a.m., there's no sun. There's no anything. You're just in the water. I don't care how warm it is. It's probably freezing. Hey, Tharvy, how are you? Woodland creatures, good to see you. Let's see. Hey, Jeanette. Oh, they're talking about puppy dogs. Kathy says I would be terrified. I know, I'd be terrified. Kaliza says almost sounds like a curse. I don't think it's cursed. I just think it's a bad time of year to go yachting down the east coast of Australia. Let me see if I can find that old footage from the 1998 one. Let me see if I can find that old footage. I don't know if this is the right one. There's a few different videos from that period. This might be it. Let's see. Nah, that's not it. Give me 1 second. I'll try and find the footage that I showed you last time. Let's see. Nope. Yeah. So this was the tornado off one of them. When was this one? This was the 2001. Sorry, not the 1998. I'll show you something from 98. This is 01. This was off the coast of Australia, east coast. This is awesome. And then they're like, "Oh yeah, giant water spout / tornado, just hanging out. Gonna get some people if you sail through it. That thing's pretty cool. Let me show you what it was like in the 1998 one though. 1998. The 1998 one was brutal. The conditions were atrocious. They're saying that apparently the one today was really bad too. They were saying some of the worst weather they'd ever seen. So, all right, there you go. There's that giant water spout again. Looks like it's roping out actually. No longer doesn't have a nice structure anymore. Looks like it's breaking apart. There you go. Let's show you this one. This is from the 1998. It's got music. I can't show it to you. I can show you the footage. You can see a lot of storms, a lot of bad conditions out there. Yachts trying to make it through. And then look, someone even having to drop a flare in the water. There's a rescue raft. Airplanes looking for people in the water, trying to rescue people. Really it was a big disaster. It was to the point that the Bureau of Meteorology got called to like a please explain by the government and was like, well, why did you not warn anyone that all these people were going to get absolutely obliterated? And how come a stronger warning wasn't put out that, you know, hey, it's probably not a great condition to go, sailing right now. Think you should probably just not do the race. But they were just like, oh yeah, there's a very deep low pressure system coming through. We're expecting bad conditions, and they didn't really make it seem as serious as boats sinking and people having to jump overboard into life rafts to survive. There you go. There's a boat that's been abandoned. I'm not sure if that one ever made it. A bunch of them sank off the coast of New South Wales at the time. So I don't know. There you go. There's some people that were either rescued or, brought back. That guy looks like he's had a hell of a night. That guy's like, please don't put the camera in my face. I've had the worst night ever. Go away. So there you go. There's a bit of footage from it. Lots of casualties. That is right. That is me getting very seasick. I agree. I would too. Kathy Lynch says, I don't even like to swim in our pool at night. It's creepy. I grew up, I had a swimming pool when I was a kid. And lucky me, not a lot of children have swimming pools. And I remember I used to hate swimming in it at night as well because I couldn't see the bottom. And we used to have this thing, used to be called a creepy crawly that would like clean the bottom of the pool. And for some reason as a child, I always thought it was going to eat me at nighttime. So I never went in that pool at nighttime, especially if the creepy crawly was working at the time. So I understand. Marylander said nobody should have been out there. Maybe not at the time. No. He looks so disappointed. I mean, these yachts are multi-million dollars. The crews themselves cost a fortune. I can't imagine what it'd be like to plan for 12 months and be like, yes, this year we are going to do it. We're going to make it to Hobart and we're going to make line honors or something. And then you just get absolutely obliterated off the coast of New South Wales and lose a yacht as it sinks in the ocean. And you're like, yeah, we didn't see that coming, but yes. It sounds like a legit fear. It is. Catatonic says, I've been caught in a storm in the Pacific on a catamaran, only flying nowadays. I think you're crazy to be in the Pacific during a storm, but okay. Rachel says, those are called pool octopus. My grandma had one, freak me out. What is it called? A pool octopus? We called it a creepy crawly. Is it a rich people thing? It is definitely a rich people thing. Oh, it depends. Like, I've been in storms that have done millions of dollars of damage, wiped out, towns, crops, done immeasurable damage to like economy, wiped out entire crops that farmers have been waiting the entire year to harvest. I mean, it depends, but I don't know. I've seen houses blow away. Just depends, but I don't know. I think they're all pretty bad. Anytime you lose someone, whether it's just a thunderstorm, whether it has a tornado, whether someone gets hit in the head with like hail, they're all pretty bad when you lose a life. So I don't know. I haven't gone out in a long time. I wish I could, but it's like they don't want to give us any thunderstorms. It's like it's the middle of summer here. Haven't seen a thunderstorm all summer. Not anything down here at the moment. Diane Marie says ours was called Jaws. Hold on, I'm gonna find this now. Is this what it looked like for you guys? Hold on. Yeah, this is what we had as a kid, right? I'll show it to you. I used to hate this thing. I don't know why, but it really freaked me out. All right. Oh, we've got to upload it. Okay. Banners, branding. They moved everything around on here. Where'd you take our uploads? Oh, here. They moved all our buttons around on StreamYard. Where is it? Downloads. Sorry, I should sing a song while it's uploading. Come on, upload. There we go. This thing. This guy. It sits on the bottom of the pool and goes dricka 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 dricka. I hate this thing. Used to think it was like a stingray that would eat my foot. I don't know why. It just doesn't. It doesn't hurt people, but as a child, I thought it would. Um, Thavi says that is so horrible to have a race go that wrong. It's happened a few times. Kathy Lynch says I hate the robot pool cleaners. Yeah, they're pretty bad. Horses top the sport of kings. Okay. I don't know. You horse people might have a fight with the boat people. The boat people probably pay more for the boat than the horse, maybe. Sometimes those horses can cost a lot of money too. Yeah, creepy crawly. Khalida said the creepy crawlies can suck up your hair and kids have drowned. So you tell me this is a 40-year-old after I had a lifetime fear of it? I don't think you should tell me that. Woodland Creature said that thing is so scary. I would have been scared of it as a kid too. Yeah, it used to live in our pool. Although I don't know if I've ever told you this story, but my parents asked me when I was a kid. They said, "What do you want for Christmas?" And I said, "I want a great white shark." I'm not kidding. That's what I told my parents. I said, "I want a great white shark." And they said, "Well, where are we going to keep it?" And I said, "Well, you can keep it in the pool. We've got a giant pool out the back. It'll fit. You just have to get a little one, like a baby one." And they're like, "No, we're not doing that." I was like, "What about a stingray?" And they're like, "No." So I don't know why I wanted those two things, but I was scared of the creepy crawly. Texas Roadrunner says our pool robot has wheels and a tail. Is this like an alien thing? Is this like alien? Is it gonna attack my face and lay eggs there or something? Woodland Creature says, "Oh my god, the creepy crawly really could have killed you. It may have." Hey, Leisha, how are you? Anybody consume way too much coconut and feel sick for days? I'm not a coconut person. I don't mind. I don't really like coconut water either. After someone told me what coconut water tastes like, I was like, I'm never drinking it again. Never drinking it again. Never. Not doing it. Not doing it. Can't do it. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, Google that. Uh, all right, we got other stories to get to. We got heaps of crimes. We got the lady in Langwarrin who was killed by her husband. We have more details about that. But also, we got a lot of Australian stories today. Also, in Queensland, a young lady murdered. Can you believe this? She was somehow. They got her out of her home and she was chasing off two guys. They turned around and shot and killed her. Police released some camera footage today, but it's very odd, and I don't know what they're trying to demonstrate with it. So maybe you guys can tell me. Actually, let's do that one first because I want to show the video for it. It's this weird CCTV, and I was trying to listen to it earlier and figure out what's going on. Now, what I think they're trying to highlight is there's a guy who says something like, "Come back here" or "Come here." But I'm like, wouldn't you want to show us where the gunshots or the victim talking or something? Anyway, I'll show it to you. Here, it's this one. All right, let me pause this. All right. All right. So the victim was Chloe Jade Mason. She's 23. She was found unconscious on Railway Parade in Caboolture in Queensland, 12:10 a.m. on Sunday. Emergency services arrived and provided first aid, but she died at the scene. Queensland police are currently looking for what they believe are two men who could be responsible. The word I would use would be like person of interest. I believe if they're looking for you, there's a reason. And here's a photo of Chloe here, lovely young woman, very pretty. And this is the clip they released up here. This came out today, and have a listen and let me know if you hear anything relevant here. So you do hear a guy in the background, and then you see a a guy cycling past. So yeah, back here. It's hard to see in the top right-hand corner. Left-hand corner, ping, left hand. Then in the background, you start to hear a siren. They believe that siren was coming to that particular scene. Yeah, you do hear. I would believe it's her voice, and I can't make it out myself. I had my headphones on. I was trying to listen, but it's very distorted, and unfortunately, it sounds like the police have muted it. If you listen, there's gaps where there's no audio at all, and I feel like they've taken it out, like they've muted something here. Definitely male voice before the dogs, "Stay back," maybe? Yeah, there's a point where you hear him say something like, "Come back here," or "Come here." Don't know if that's what they're focusing on, but and then you see this sort of like the CCTV is poor quality. Yeah, let me turn that down. Let me go back here. You can see there's an outline of a bike up here. It's really, not good quality. You see the guy on the bike, he's riding down the top here. It's very faded for some reason. Don't know if it's like an aberration on the, some sort of issue with the camera at nighttime, but you can see him, he goes back the other yeah, he cycles around the corner here, and then he goes back down the road. There you go, he's back down the road when he hears the siren. So the siren should be, if I put the audio back on, we should hear it.
There's a chance of the house, mate. Fuck.
All right, the rest is muted out. But yeah, this is the version they have released today. I don't know what to tell you except for very strange. I would you know, I'd like to know who did it to her. To shoot a woman in the middle of the night, it's just past midnight, and to somehow get her out of her home. It says here, police said the young woman, who was known to loved ones as CJ, was allegedly assaulted and chased by two men before being shot during the middle of the night. Detectives believe it was not a random attack and the parties involved were known to each other. I don't think that makes anyone feel better. Do you think they went to her family's home and went, it's okay. She's dead. She's been murdered. But it's okay, calm down. We believe they were known to her. Like, do you think that helps anyone? I don't think that helps no one. I don't think that gives them any comfort. They're not like, oh my God, thank God. Thank God the people who killed my sister and friend and daughter and auntie or whatever, thank God her killers were known to her. I'm very relieved at that information. They say the CCTV has now been released in an effort to find the men involved in the alleged attack. In the 2-minute clip, a man can be seen riding up and down a suburban street before he can be heard swearing and yelling at someone. Dogs can be heard barking in the background before a police siren can eventually be heard. They're asking for anyone traveling along Railway Parade between 11:40 p.m. on Saturday, December 21, till around 12:15 a.m. It's about, what is it, like 45 minutes later or something? No, 35 minutes later. On Sunday, it's after midnight. So Sunday, December 22nd, is urged to come forward. So they're really focused on that 35-minute timeline here, between 11:40 and 12:15. And they'd like to know who those two men are. They say, speaking to Channel 9 News, Miss Mason's sister, Danny, said she didn't deserve this. She was one of the most amazing people you could ever meet. Like, she's someone that you would have wanted to have by your side in life. And they said down here that there's a GoFundMe the family has set up on behalf of Chloe. They're saying, being so close to Christmas, her family has no savings or financial means to give her a funeral. We are graciously asking for help and support in this. All funds donated will be used for Chloe's funeral service. It must be hard. I don't think it matters what time of year it is. An unexpected death in the family. I don't know if anyone's got like 10 grand to put down for a funeral. I don't think anyone, doesn't matter if it's Christmas or October 3rd, in the year. I think it's hard any time of the year. They said there's no suggestion the public should be alarmed by this. I'm pretty alarmed. I don't even live in Caboolture, and I'm alarmed. I'm alarmed that some woman was shot and killed, and two guys decided it'd be fun to chase her, attack her, and then shoot her. No, I am pretty alarmed. And they say, I'm confident the police will solve this sooner than later. Well, sooner would be good. Mr. Purdy urged anyone with information. Is he our quarterback for the 49ers? Mr. Purdy? They're saying, urged anyone with information to contact the police to help solve this murder. Wait a second. Didn't you just say the police will solve this sooner than later? Why do you need people to contact you if you think they're going to solve it? It's very double messaging there by you. They're saying it's not the first time North Brisbane has seen a tragedy around Christmas time. It's something we do want to stop, particularly a violent crime like that. Sorry, I don't mean to laugh. I just think it's ridiculous. They say we need to make sure our police have all the resources and the laws they need to do their job and keep people safe. Like arresting people? Is that a thing you can do? Or I'm confused. Do you need more things to arrest people? Do we need more laws? What about the resources? Do you need like 20 helicopters? What about 50? Can we get you 50? Would 50 helicopters somehow make the streets safer? What if we could have one on every single street in Brisbane 24 hours a day? We'll make them solar powered, and you can have the helicopter up there 24 hours a day. Would that somehow give you all the resources you need so a young 23-year-old woman doesn't have to die? Would that work? Can we do that? Because like I'd be all for that. If you think that'll work, I'm good. Can we slow down the video speed? I might be able to. Let's have a look. What kind of video trickery can we play with? Let's have. Do I have any options? Autoplay settings, no. But what I can do. I don't know if I can do it while I'm on the show, but I can pull this video and I can upload it to the Facebook page, and then we can mess around with it and bring down the speed and stuff like that. I just can't do it while we're live on the air, but I can do that for you all. Rachel said, I'm not sure anyone could identify this male's voice. It is so muffled. It is. It almost sounds like they've amplified the audio. That's what it sounds like to me listening to it. It sounds like they've turned up the background and it's muffled because it is background noise. It's not near the camera where it's sort of like on the front of the stage of the audio. It's somewhere, in the back, and they've amplified it in editing so that you can hear it, but it's sort of, it's not clear. It needs to be run through a clarity filter and maybe a couple other things. They need an audio tech. I'm not an audio tech. I just press buttons until it sounds better. I just be like, does that work? No. Does that work? No. Does that work? Yes. Okay, there we go. That's how I would do it, because I don't know what I'm doing. Let's see. Actually, all right. Give me 1 second. I'm going to try something. I have to black the screen to do it, but 1 sec. All right, that didn't work. I'm going to have to try a different tool. I have a program on my PC that I use for pulling videos from places. It's like a command line thing, but it didn't work. It doesn't work for this particular site. I have another way of doing it. I just, again, can't do it while we're on the air. Cops release 24. Hold on. Let me search her name. Chloe Jade Mason. Let's go here. Show all controls. Yeah, okay. No, no one's uploaded it to like YouTube or something yet. Let me check the Australian. No. All right. Ping's gonna have to do some video downloading later on. Maybe I can have it for tomorrow's show. But let me bring you this from 7 News Australia.
23 years young, Chloe Mason was so loved. She was a daughter, aunt, sister, an accomplished rugby player, a full life which last night she was robbed of.
It's a tragedy to lose her. young life in such a violent manner.
At the hands of two men Chloe knew, around midnight on Railway Parade, Caboolture, she was gunned down in a violent, targeted attack.
The deceased was assaulted by two male persons who may have chased her down Railway Parade. During that assault, the deceased received a gunshot wound.
The gunman took off, leaving Chloe for dead. But it's now left her grieving family broken. From Chloe's sister, Hannah, I grieve for the life she never got to have and the experiences we won't share. This is really hard to come to terms with. So close to Christmas, she has gifts wrapped under the tree she'll never get to unwrap.
A dedicated task force have been deployed to investigate this crime, with the goal to bring the persons responsible to justice.
This morning, investigators combed the street, which is now shut off. Residents of a nearby home were taken to Caboolture Station for questioning.
Do you know anything about last night, mate?
Detectives believe they are witnesses, helping them piece together this cold-blooded attack.
We have a number of witnesses that are currently assisting us. However, we have no person in custody now.
Do you have any suspects yet?
No, we don't have any suspects.
Police still...
I'm very confused how you can know it was targeted to Chloe if you don't have any suspects and all you have are witnesses. Why? Did they say something where they're like, oh, I think she knew who they were. I heard her call the guy Jason. Yeah, they definitely had been friends before. Yeah, it was definitely targeted. I think maybe some leaps and bounds are being had here. Kaliza says, hey Ping, how are your kitties feeling any better? Muffin is not here tonight. He's way over in the other part of the house, away from Dad. When he gets sick, he goes and sort of isolates himself. It's very cute, but he's in isolation of his own doing. I can see him, but he's over there. He's far away tonight. He's got congestion, unfortunately. So he's poor little guy sleeping with his mouth open. And he's like, I can breathe through my mouth, but not my nose. Poor guy. His sister, Rory, has got over it. She doesn't have a cold anymore. She's healed up, but unfortunately she gave it to Muffin. So, talking in class. Rachel says sometimes their statements make no sense, trying to keep the public from panicking, maybe. I just think anytime someone is shot, we should be concerned. I don't care if they're like, it was definitely her work friend. Like, she's a giant, biatch. Like, they've been fighting for 20 years. I don't think it matters. I think anytime we have someone die of a firearm crime, especially in this country, where supposed to be one of the tougher countries in the world on gun crime. And it seems like every day I read stories of people being shot and killed. So, interesting. Hopefully we can hear more about this as we go along. It's pretty sad. Emergency services did try to provide her first aid, but she died at the scene. They sound like they must have got her pretty good, which is pretty horrible. They said CCTV footage has now been released in an effort to find the men involved in the alleged attack. In the 2-minute clip, a man can be seen riding up and down a suburban street before he can be heard swearing and yelling at someone. I often swear at people when they shoot people too. They said dogs can be heard barking in the background. Get them into custody. Maybe they can be witnesses too. And they're saying anyone traveling along Railway Parade between 11:40 p.m. Saturday night, December 21 to 12:15 a.m. Sunday, December 22nd is urged to come forward. When they say things like that, we urge someone to come forward, I always think that they know that there was someone there that has not come forward. Police don't say things for no reason. They don't say things like, they're not like, yeah, so this guy, we found a body on the street. Yeah, we're looking for anyone who may have seen that guy and why he died. When they say like, we're looking for anyone who may have, witnessed what happened to this young lady. That it's the cops' hint that we know you were there. You should hand yourself in and tell us what's going on. Otherwise, you may get a knock at the door." And that is basically what I believe they're saying right there. One of her friends wrote, "She was taken from us too soon. She had some rough times and faced a lot of challenges, but through it all, she remained a genuinely good person with a huge heart." Apparently, from some of my research, she had a ex-partner who was killed a year ago. I can show you that little piece of information if I can find it again. Yeah, here. The Courier Mail previously revealed that Miss Mason's former partner, Kane Anderson, was fatally stabbed in a brawl on Australia Day in 2020. Okay, not last year, a few years ago. So she lost a partner to violent crime, and then herself was killed in a violent crime. That is uh, ridiculous. Very, very silly. 23. 23 years old, not very old. And Gayla says, "Make your bathroom really steamy. That should help with the congestion." I used to have a cat that you had to tickle her nostrils to make sneeze, so much gunk came out of her nose. Muffin, we're going to try that with you. We're going to tickle your nostrils. Maybe you would like that. He will bite me. Maybe she hung around with a rough crowd. So if you hung around with a rough crowd, do you deserve to be killed by a gun? I don't know, but I don't think so. I mean, rough people have to have friends as well. It's going to be up to 64. 64. Danny's been hiding in his new avatar of Santa Claus with a bandana. I was just joking. Yeah, I just think that sometimes people find it far too, not you, but I read a lot of comments where they're like, who cares? She was just some hood bitch who, you know, she hung around with all the drug dealers and all the crackheads in Brisbane. Who cares? She deserved to get shot. And I just think like it's not she's someone's friend, someone's sister, and I don't know. I just think they all deserve the same respect, no matter who it is. It doesn't matter if they're a prostitute who's been killed and dumped in a field somewhere, or it's this young lady who's had her challenges in life and um, seems to have had issues navigating certain things. 23 is not very old, right? I think if we all look back on the 23-year-olds we were, do you think that any of us really like the 23-year-old version of who we might be now? I'm gonna say the 23-year-old version of me was a jerk and probably not as nice as the 40-year-old version of Ping. And I don't think I would like to go back to being that particular version of myself. So she had a long way to go in life. She could have been anything. She could have been the next police commissioner. Okay, maybe not. All right, maybe not. But you know what I mean. She could have been anything. 23 is very, very young. It's you don't even know what you want to do at that time in life. By the way, I wasn't jumping on you. I was just joking with your thing. Gayla says, "I was married. Do you want to go back to that version of you? You let me know. You let me know. We can arrange that. Knights of Ping has special powers. We can arrange that for you." By the way, Mr. DJ wanted to, I don't know, he was sending me stuff today about firearms and some other stuff that I won't mention, but, oh, hey, buddy. Oh, hey. What's going on? All right. You're going to come sit with Dad now. All right. He's back. Mr. Muffin is back. Hey, bud, you're going to sit with Dad now. What's wrong? You cold? Oh, sneezy boy. All right. You all right? He's all right. He's going to sit with Dad. Is it... Hey, Sniffles. I've got a show to do. Can't be listening to you sneeze for 2 hours. Don't spray that everywhere. Yuck, Muffin. Hey, you go hang out with Mum. You go sneeze on Mum. Did you come here just so you could sneeze? Did you feel like you couldn't sneeze over there with her? Is it like a privacy thing? Is it like a, I don't want to do that in front of girls? Like, what is this? All right. You calm down now. I wanted to show you this because he was having this conversation with, since we're talking about firearms, why not? We were talking in a story, it must have been a couple of weeks ago, about what constitutes a pistol and what constitutes a firearm. And I think we may have been talking, I can't remember what case, it may have been the Susan Simpson, the one about the husband being done with a gun charge. Maybe that one. It could have been a few others. We do quite a few. And we were trying to figure out, yeah, I think they were calling a gun a rifle. No, I think they were calling it a pistol. And we were like, a pistol? Geez, that looks like a rifle. And I was saying that looks like a rifle to me, but I don't know a lot about firearms. And then DJ was saying, no, there's a difference. And this is one of the better animations that I found that displays what the difference is. So from my research here, as long as you have a barrel that's under the 16-inch of a barrel, so you have these shorter barrels, and as long as you have what they call a stabilizing brace, which is normally supposed to be for your arm, but a lot of people do put them on the shoulder or the top of the arm. And as long as you have that and not a stock, you are counted as a pistol. Now, if you have a short barrel, same as the pistol, but you have a stock on it, same receiver here, you are considered an SBR or a short-barreled rifle. And then if you have a barrel that's longer than 16 inches with a stock, you are a rifle. So they are the three definitions under the weird laws that are happening. There was some legal challenge in November for this, for what they call stabilizing braces or arm braces in America. So there you go. If you, I wanted to do that for Mr. DJ. Kathy says, I taught my former, Pinky, you taught Pinky how to sneeze. Muffin, do we have to teach you how to sneeze? No, he says, I'm all right. Sienna says, I'm surprised I lived through 25. When I look back, I did stupid things without any thought put into it. Not illegal, just stupid young people things that I shouldn't do today. I can tell you I did all the things and somehow still made it here to 40. So just. Yeah, I know. He's all right. Poor little boy. He'll get better. His sister fought it off, so his sister was able to fight it off in about 5 days, and she's doing all right now. So hopefully he can fight it off. He's gone to sleep on my lap, so hopefully he's all right. Kathy says, I was married with 2 kids at 23. There's a joke there somewhere, one that I can't make on this channel, but I can't make that joke. So yeah, there you go for your firearm lesson. So if we talk about it in the future and Ping calls something a rifle that's actually a pistol, you can blame me because I actually do know the difference now. But yeah, for anyone wondering if we bring it up in the future. Okay, all right. We have more stories to go to. Many more. All of them. We have all the stories. There is some more information about the mum who was murdered in Langwarrin yesterday. So Langwarrin's actually not too far from here. It's actually 25 minutes, something like that. It's not too far from me. I live in the southeast in Melbourne, and Langwarrin's in the southeast too, just further south than where I am. So let me show you some more information about that if I can grab this link. But really, really awful. There's some photos of her. So the man's name is John, and the lady's name is Yvonne. Yeah, they say, John and Yvonne look at the very pictures of a happy, loving couple, but now he's been charged with murdering the mother of 3 on Boxing Day at Langwarrin in Melbourne. And here's a photo of them. Apparently, just the day before, she had hosted a Christmas gathering at her home, and John here, according to the police, stabbed her to death in their marital home. I mean, what do you, what can you say? Even at this age, 59, I think he's 63, that there's still DV. I mean, DV murders. It's awful. They say a photo captured by news teams outside their Langwarrin home in Melbourne's southeast suburbs showed him being taken away by police in handcuffs. Yes, let me grab that so you guys can have a look. Here he is here, being taken away in handcuffs after being charged with the murder of Yvonne, his wife, on Boxing Day. Pretty awful. Hey Jojo, how are you? Rachel says just horrible. I agree. And Kayla says I was nice, but probably lucky I didn't die. We did a lot of things where I'm like, how did I not get killed? And I think back and I'm like, someone should have killed me. Yeah, so here we go. There's that photo of him. Let me go through these details. We have far too many links open. They say here the alleged killer has appeared in Melbourne Magistrates Court for a brief hearing on Thursday evening. That was last night. Hours after calling 000 to report an assault on his 59-year-old wife, the court hears that John, who is in custody for the first time, was vulnerable due to his age and health. He suffers from type 2 diabetes and requires regular medication for his issues with his knees and back. Okay, does that somehow, prerequisite you to murdering your wife? You're like, yeah, sorry about that. My type 2 diabetes and my painkillers for dealing from my 2 back operations, they made me kill her. I'm sorry. I still need them in jail. I promise I won't kill anyone while I'm in jail. They're saying he spoke to confirm he took daily painkillers to deal with pain resulting from 2 back operations in 2020 and 2021. He says, it's a regular dosage that I take every day. His wife had been administration manager with a local property consultant. Emergency service had attended the Wood Duck Court home about 6:30 a.m. on Thursday after receiving John's 000 call. Officers could not save his wife, who was allegedly found with stab wounds inside the home. Police arrested him at the scene and later charged him with 1 count of murder. It's understood the couple had only recently moved into the neighborhood from nearby Mount Eliza. Police homicide squad detective Inspector Dean Thomas. I feel like we talk about Dean Thomas a lot on this channel. Told reporters that the pair had just hosted their family for a Christmas Day gathering hours before the incident occurred. And there's their nice home. Beautiful area in Langwarrin. He said the couple's 3 adult children had been devastated by the alleged killing after being among those celebrating Christmas at the property the day before. They say the family of the alleged victim have been spoken to, and obviously they're extremely upset here on Boxing Day. They're very upset and distraught. There's a number of family members that we need to remember are impacted by this, and there will be a number of friends also. The interactions between those who attended the gathering will be central to the investigation. Police confirmed there had been no history of domestic violence between the couple. That doesn't mean anything, though. Oftentimes, people in a DV relationship are very good at hiding it from their family, from those around them, and sometimes just putting up with it for the sake of the marriage. It doesn't make her a weaker woman or anything. It just means that she obviously wasn't maybe not getting the help she needed. I don't believe a man just picks up a knife and decides to stab his wife of 25 years for, no reason. He's just like, oh yeah, that biatch made me Christmas lunch. I'm gonna stab her now. She burnt the gravy. Let me kill her. I think there's more here that we will find out in due course. They say forensics teams found a weapon inside the home, but detectives would not confirm what was used to kill the victim. It is not known yet whether Mr. Perez called police immediately following his wife's death or whether the alleged altercation occurred sometime before police and paramedics arrived. I'm going to guess it was sometime earlier in the night, and he needed a bunch of hours to get his sort of like courage up to call police because he knew his life would basically be over. And I reckon it happened hours earlier, probably possibly even the night before, because it seems odd to stab someone at 6:30 in the morning. You're just waking up. You're not like, oh man, I had the worst nightmare. You're a total see you next Tuesday to me. Let me just grab the knife out of the kitchen and just turn around for a second. Let me stab you a few times. No, I think it probably happened the night before. Khaliza says you get used to dealing with it over and over and it becomes part of your life. You know it's not right, but you just try to get through it and focus on the better times. Especially at 60, she's 59, he's 63. They're in that part of their life where they're winding down a little bit, getting into retirement age. Not winding down in life, but winding down their busy part of their life. Work and that type of thing. So they're almost at that age where they should have been looking at retirement. And yeah, it's concerning. Gayla says obviously didn't like his Christmas presents. There's a joke there too, but I'm not going to make it about a 59-year-old woman that was killed by her husband. Rachel says Kathy right, he needs the fashion police. He's not a fashionable guy, no. They would have put him, if he was a dog, they would have put him down for this. Injuries and violent. That's true. He's wearing dark ankle socks. Do you know how many people made fun of me for wearing socks with my, what are they? Puma slippers? I wore them because I just got home from that dinner. So I kicked off my dress shoes. And I was like, well, I want to go outside and show you guys the water near the resort that we were staying at. And everyone in the comments, like 50 comments, were like, Ping might be a serial killer. He wears socks with his thongs. There was like all these comments about people about my socks and my thongs. Everyone was going mental about it. He stabbed her because she only bought him dark ankle socks. I will never, ever wear a pair of white socks in my life. I'm not a tennis player. I'm never going to wear a pair of white socks. For what reason? Is this the 80s? Am I Pete Sampras? No. So I'm not going to wear purple, white socks. Yeah, these are slides. I've got them on now. I've got 2 pairs actually in different colors, but these are slides or whatever they call them. Yeah, I don't know if he stabbed her because she only buys him ankle socks that are dark colors. I think that's a good wife. That's a good wife. Good wife, don't buy me white. It's like men who wear white underwear. It's like, are you 4? Are you 4 years old? Can you not wear a pair of black black boxers? Are you 12? Does your mom still buy your underwear? It's like, come on. Rachel says, I wonder if there was any alcohol at the party. It's a family gathering for Christmas. I'm going to say, unless they're Mormon or something, yeah, there's probably alcohol at the party. It's Australia. There's alcohol everywhere. All right. Let's go back here. Let me go back to this. Where is that story? Apparently our links are not wanting to be our friend today. I don't think they're ever our friend. That's not it. That's not it either. Yeah. There it is. Dun dun dun. He definitely does have dark shoes with dark socks. He's a very white dude too. Maybe white would have been better for him. Not for Ping though, but maybe for him. Would have matched his hair. They look like a lovely couple. It's very, very sad that and she looks very accomplished, you know. She looks like one of those people you see in like the real estate. Well, she was a property consultant, but she looks like one of those people you go, wow, they look so fancy in the real estate website. That's what she looks like. She looks so fancy. All right. Yeah, let me grab some more about Mr. Beres, John Beres, 63. I want to see if I can find anything about his court hearing. That doesn't work. What the hell are trainer socks? Trainer socks? What are trainer socks? This is what I wear already. I don't know why you're telling me I should wear them. This is what I already wear. This is basically what I wear already. I have these socks, actually. No, I don't have those ones, but this is what I wear already. I mean, he might want to wear them, yeah. But this is all I wear. I have like 50 pairs of them. I like clean socks, so I always have millions of pairs of clean socks. But these are the type that are similar to what I wear. Although I have Polo, Ralph Lauren, a few others. Sounds fancy, but it's not. Tiny socks you can't see. Oh yeah, see, I wear them. They're called ankle socks. That's what I wear. I hate those ones that go up like halfway up your leg, even though apparently that's what all the young kids wear. I'm just like, no, I can't do it. Men don't wear white underwear. I ain't wearing white underwear for no one. Like, what is this? Am I that, what's his name? Am I Tom Cruise in that movie where he slides across the floor in his white underwear? No. Actually, most underwear sold in Australia is black. Mostly black or grey. I don't think white underwear is easy to get for men. Except if you're in America and you get Fruit of the Loom. Hold on. Rory. Hey. Rory. Hey. Yeah, Rory's being naughty. She's climbing stuff. Risky Business. Is that the right one? That could be it. Here, I'll show you guys. You guys don't believe me? Yeah, let's play. Let's play Spot the White Underwear on this listing. Oh, I like those. They say Pepsi. Let's spot the just pure white. All right. How many pure white underwear do you see in this catalog? All right. Actually, I have to log out. Actually, I could do that. All right, there we go. Just so. All right. This is like typical shop for male underwear. How many white pairs of underwear do you see? Well, there's a Cookie Monster. There's a Fruit Loops. I'd wear that just because it says Fruit Loops. A Cheezels, a Doritos. That a Pepsi one. I don't know who would find that attractive. Probably no woman ever, but sure. But I don't see very many white pairs of underwear, do you? I see grey. Grey's pretty popular, but I don't see any white. It's an American thing. It's not an Australian. I don't think it's even a UK thing. It's a very much for some reason a USA type thing. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. You can see all the male models. I think the socks are not supposed to come above your shoe. Sure. Jojo says, Kathy, trust me, my dad is wearing white underwear until forever. Was he in the military by any chance? Yeah, I think only my dad wears that. Yeah, I ain't wearing that. I ain't wearing, what do they call it, tidy whities? Not a effing chance in the entire world. You couldn't pay me enough money to be caught dead wearing that. I don't know, maybe if you grew up wearing it or something, like it was some sort of local thing, I guess I get it, but not here. The largest brand of underwear here that a lot of people wear day to day is like that's not like a shop brand. is probably Bonds. So Bonds is probably one of the biggest brands down here, although they're now made in Asia and they're not as good anymore. Tradies, it's okay. But Bonds is the one that most people wear. They make female underwear too. All right, there we go. Don't know why we got onto that, but there you go. Just to prove a point. Just to prove a point that it's not a thing here. I wanted to do that. This is very sad. This is very sad. I know they were looking for a young man. It's sad they found his body. They're saying tragic twist in the hunt for the body of a Scots College student swept out to sea on Christmas Eve. They say the search for a missing teenage boy swept into the ocean on Christmas Eve has ended in tragedy. His name is Luca Bennett, 15. He's been found after an agonizing 5-day search. About 12 p.m. today, emergency services were called to North Avoca Beach following reports a body had been located in the water. An operation is ongoing to recover the body believed to be that of the missing boy. For 2 days, rescuers had searched frantically for the teen, but on Thursday it was announced the search had shifted to a recovery operation. He'd been playing with friends at the North Avoca Rocks on New South Wales Central Coast on Christmas Eve when the group was washed into the water. The Scots College student, a promising basketballer, failed to surface or resurface, while 2 of his friends managed to climb to safety and raise the alarm. And there's a photo of him in his New South Wales basketball jersey with the state flower on the chest here. Very sad, very sad. His poor family. They say dolphins were circling north of Boca Rock since 5 a.m. this morning. The ocean lifted him up onto the rocks, according to his mum. The incredible team from our surf clubs, police, and marine rescue paramedics are retrieving him for us. We can't even begin to explain our immense gratitude to them and all of our family, friends, and community. We love you. How sad. They say a GoFundMe fundraiser created on the Bennett family's behalf has raised more than $80,000 in less than 24 hours, surpassing its goal of $50,000. So that will definitely, the community is definitely helping them out and making sure that they will be okay. That's it must be hard to lose a teenager to water at the age of 15. It's so young. Underwear was white so that mums could bleach it clean. Yeah. Okay. We have this great invention now. You may have never heard of it, but oxy action stuff exists, and it's like it can do colors. You don't need, nothing has to be white. We don't have to use starch things anymore, and scrubbing things, and just oxy action, and it's all good. I don't know what brand you call it in America, but we call it nappy sand here. Not military. I think it's just a time period. Yeah. Keeping Fruit of the Loom in business with white underwear. Keeping Fruit. I mean, I'm not making fun of Fruit of the Loom. Apparently their stuff is pretty good. It's just like, I know they're one of the ones that sell that type of thing. All right. All right. I don't think I have. 1 second. Sorry, I had to yawn, and I was like, I don't want you guys to have to see that. Let me check here. I haven't heard a lot out of the USA over the break. It's been a little quiet. Let's head to Yahoo. More gun crime, apparently. A High Ridge father accused of killing son on Christmas Eve. Wow. Jefferson County, Missouri. They're saying a Missouri man stands accused of gunning down his own son on Christmas Eve. According to the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office, the shooting happened Tuesday evening in the 6400 block of Highway PP in High Ridge. Investigators say Harold E. Luster, 61, retrieved a firearm and threatened a person during an argument. Luster then turned the gun on his own son, Kevin, and shot him. Kevin died as a result of that gunshot. He was only 26 years old. The Jefferson County Prosecutor's Office charged Luster with first-degree murder and armed criminal action. Luster remains jailed right now without a bond. Let me see what else I can find about this. Harold E. Luster. Let's see if we can find a local KFMO. Okay. We have a photo of him, if I can grab this. Here's his mugshot. He looks very sad in his prison orange. Very sad. It says here, a man has been criminally charged with the murder of his son on Christmas Eve in Jefferson County. They're saying, according to a news release, a disagreement happened on the evening of the 24th at a residence in the 6400 block of Highway PP. Luster is accused of retrieving a firearm and threatening another person before shooting his son. Deputies said the investigation is ongoing and court appearance information was not immediately available at time of publication. But there you go, shot his own son on Christmas Eve. I Hate Morning says, yes, the great laundry and the new fabric options has changed our clothing and laundry. That's right. Color Stay and Oxy Action have changed the world forever. I think we did that yesterday. I did hear a thing here today that the Ukraine had actually said that it was Russia who did it. I don't know if that's true or not. I just heard that they're now blaming Russia. Let me see if I can find something about it. All right. Yeah, I saw an update. Is it here? Yeah, here. They're saying here, Russian air defenses have downed that airplane that crashed in Kazakhstan, killing 38 people. According to 4 sources with knowledge of the preliminary findings, is it Azerbaijan investigation into the disaster have told Reuters. They're saying flight J28243 crashed on Christmas Day near the city of Aktau in Kazakhstan after diverting from an area of southern Russia where Moscow has repeatedly used air defense systems against Ukrainian drone strikes. The Embraer passenger jet took off from the capital, heading for Russia's southern Chechnya region before veering off hundreds of miles across the Caspian Sea. It crashed on the opposite side of the Caspian after what Russian aviation watchdog earlier said was an emergency that may have been caused by a bird strike. They're like, yes, those missile birds are very dangerous and they've definitely hit a passenger jet. Please don't look over here at the missile launcher. Please avert your eyes to the birds in the background. They definitely caused the plane to fall out of the sky. They say officials did not explain why it had to cross the sea. The nearest Russian airport on the plane's flight path was closed at the time. They say one source familiar with the crash investigation told Reuters that preliminary results showed the plane was struck by a Russian Panzer S air defense system. Its communications were paralyzed by electronic warfare systems on the approach. Geez. They say no one claims that it was done on purpose. However, taking into account the established facts, they expect the Russian side to confess to shooting down the aircraft. 3 other sources confirmed that the investigation had come to the same preliminary conclusion. Russia's defense ministry did not respond to a request for comment. All right, we can blame them now. And they're saying that it was supposed to, it could have flown here, but it ended up crossing the sea. It was actually headed here, over here near Chechnya, but it somehow ended up over here. They're saying it could have circled back and landed over here, but for some reason they did not. Here, I'll blow that up. There you go. So it was actually headed to this airport over here. That's trippy how that moves like that. It's supposed to head over here near Chechnya, but it landed directly over the other side of the Caspian Sea. They're not sure why. Maybe it had something to do with the paralyzing of their communication systems. God, you guys can't see? Come on, stupid thing. There you go. There you go. You can see here. So this is where it took off from, and it was supposed to land over here in the Chechnya territory, but it landed all the way over the other side here across the Caspian Sea. Why? It could have, like I said, it could have been something to do with the them messing with their communication systems and paralyzing it. So maybe they didn't know which direction they were going in. So they were flying from like VFR, which is visual flight rules. So maybe they end up having to fly via sight rather than instrument. And maybe they sort of crossed over and went, yeah, there's an airport over there, and decided to try and land it. But it sounds like it may have been. It's so trippy how it moves like that. It was a bird launcher. That's right. Those bird launchers, very dangerous. Yeah, there's bullet holes in the plane. You know, see? It's showing it to me now. You may be behind, my friend. I did figure out that it was blocked. Let me go here. There was photos yesterday that showed the holes. We showed it in the plane last. We showed it on the show last night. Here, let's go to the ABC News.
And a Russian anti-aircraft system now suspected of causing the deadly Christmas Day plane crash in Kazakhstan. And this new video of the plane flying erratically seconds before descending and then bursting into flames. 38 people killed, but dozens surviving the disaster. ABC's Inez de la Catera with late details just coming in.
Tonight, mounting questions for the Kremlin about what may have caused the Christmas Day crash of Azerbaijan Airlines Flight 8243. The commercial jet taking off on Wednesday morning from Baku, the Azerbaijani capital, en route to Grozny, capital of Russia's Chechnya Republic. New video showing the plane flying erratically, rapidly losing and regaining altitude. The plane's wing visibly damaged before crashing near Aktau, a city in Kazakhstan across the Caspian Sea. Of the 67 people from 4 different countries on board, 38, including both pilots, were killed. Miraculously, 29 survived, some pulled from the wreckage, others appearing to walk away unharmed. Local.
Yeah, that guy that hopped out of the plane, he's just like, oh yeah, plane crash, no worries. Shake my hand, I got a shoe, I'm good. This guy here, he just like hopped out of the back of the plane. He's like, ah, okay, it's my lucky day. I survived the plane crash, great. And he just walked away. I find that very there he is. Miraculous that you could survive plummeting hundreds of feet and somehow just walk out. He was just like, "Oh, is there a taxi? I'll just get an Uber." Because they're stupid and they have like their air defense systems think everything is coming from the Ukraine, so they're just like fire on everything, kill everything. No, they're not stupid. They're very smart, but not sure why they would want to target a passenger jet. But hey, these are the same people that shot down, what was it, MH16 or whatever? Blew it out of the sky. They thought it was a Ukrainian or something, some other military faction aircraft. End up being a passenger jet with like hundreds of people on board, and they blew it out of the sky. So I don't know. I don't put it past too much against them for, making mistakes with their weapons. Didn't the US shoot down two? It was friendly fire. Yeah, was it planes or no? I think the two jets were in a friendly fire incident, and the pilots had to eject. I think we had that on the show last week. Yeah, it was over the Red Sea. They had a friendly fire incident. Two U.S. Navy pilots shot down over the Red Sea in a friendly fire mishap. So we can laugh at the USA for a minute too. They shot at their own guy. Ha ha ha. They're saying here, US shoots down two of its own Navy pilots over Red Sea in apparently friendly fire incident. Pilots recovered alive with one with minor injuries after ejecting from fighter jet, as US military says its guided missile cruiser mistakenly fired on the FA-18. So they somehow thought it was a non-friendly and fired on it. Why? I don't know. They say from the military's description, the aircraft shot down was a two-seat FA-18 Super Hornet fighter jet assigned to the Red Rippers of Strike Fighter Squadron 11 out of Naval Air Station Oceana in Virginia. They're saying it wasn't immediately clear how the Gettysburg could mistake an FA-18 for an enemy aircraft or missile, particularly as ships in battle group remain linked by both radar and radio communication. However, CENTCOM said warships and aircraft earlier shot down multiple Houthi drones and an anti-ship cruise missile launched by the rebels. Incoming hostile fire from them has given sailors just seconds to make decisions in the past. There you go. Maybe they thought it was another attack from them. Yeah, someone's going to be in a lot of trouble for shooting down $200 million fighter jets. Someone's going to be in a lot of trouble. Did you hear about the stowaway? Yes, we did the stowaway yesterday. Yes. Not very friendly. Yeah, it's not super friendly. Not super friendly when you fire on your own people. Not really. Oh no. Let's do this. Let's head to Ken's 5 out of San Antonio.
Well, heavy rainfall Christmas Eve morning in North Texas also made rescue efforts in Sherman quite a struggle after a crash that left 6 people trapped in a SUV surrounded by all that water, and at least one person has been confirmed dead. Olivia Thompson has the latest.
The vehicle had left the roadway and had gotten caught in the drainage ditch somewhere around US Highway 75 and Taylor Street.
A white Chevrolet Traverse was carried by strong waters southbound along the US 75 service road and stopped just before Houston Street around 9:30 Tuesday morning. 6 people were trapped inside.
Some of the occupants were recovered, 4 were rescued, and 2 are still, their status is unknown at this time.
The 4 rescued from the SUV were taken to Sherman Medical Center. All are expected to survive. Authorities spent the day searching for the other missing 2. One body was recovered just before 5 p.m. The other remains missing. No names or ages have been released.
It goes all the way down to the area where everybody likes to hunt for shark teeth. And so it kind of widens out a little bit there and the water slows down some. And so we'd have people as far down as that.
It's not the first fatality crash off 75 in Sherman during a flash flood. An Anna woman died in 2020 and a newlywed Arkansas couple were killed in 2021.
They're saying that one of the people who are missing is an 8-year-old girl. That's what my information tells me, is that, yeah, it was an 8-year-old. They say one person is dead and an 8-year-old girl is missing after an SUV flipped into a rain-swollen drainage ditch on Tuesday morning and was swept away. I'm just trying to see if they ended up locating her or not, because she's been missing for a few days now. Yeah. They're saying a high school basketball coach dead, 8-year-old daughter missing after Christmas Eve tragedy. It's Oklahoma basketball coach Will Robinson was reportedly found dead as authorities continue to search for his missing 8-year-old daughter. The search for the young girl, which authorities said had already covered 7 miles of creek as of Wednesday, continued into its third day as Texas Governor Greg Abbott approved state search and rescue teams to assist in finding the child. That is very sad. And I'm sure the Oklahoma basketball will be missing their coach too. They're saying all 6 members were trapped inside the vehicle. Robinson did not survive while 4 other members were rescued, but they still have not located that 8-year-old girl. Let me just double check if they pulled the body out or not. No, they are saying she is still missing up to about 8 hours ago. That they haven't been able to locate her. So his daughter's name is Clara, and she's 8 years old. That is extremely sad. There's a photo of her and dad, and unfortunately, it's not looking very good. Yeah, 8 years old. I mean, geez, I hope they find her. They're saying extensive searches have been going on for 36 hours. As of this time, efforts to locate the 8-year-old girl have not been successful. They're saying the Sherman Police Department has requested privacy for the family during this unimaginable period of grief. Lastly, but most importantly, we ask everyone to please respect the privacy of the family. Yeah. They just have not been able to locate her. I hope they will be able to. It's been going on for a while. Because today's Thursday.
Heavy rainfall this morning made rescue efforts in Sherman a struggle following a crash that left 6 people trapped in an SUV. At least 1 person has been confirmed dead. News 12's Olivia Thompson followed the story all day.
The vehicle had left the roadway and had gotten caught in the drainage ditch somewhere around U.S. Highway 75 and Taylor Street.
A white Chevrolet Traverse was carried by strong water southbound along the US 75 service road and stopped just before Houston Street around 9:30 Tuesday morning. 6 people were trapped inside.
Some of the occupants were recovered, 4 were rescued, and 2 are still, their status is unknown.
I believe it's only the missing girl now that they're looking for, that they did find her father. I think so. I think it sounds like they drove off the road and ended up in the drainage ditch, but the drainage ditch was full of water when it normally isn't. Hopefully they can find them. Yeah, they could have hydroplaned off the road very easily. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else on her. I don't really see anything. Sounds like, yeah, about 8 hours ago that they were still looking. Let me check this. So this story actually was in the other one. It says 3 armed boys were shot by a man they tried to rob outside his home in Texas. A total of 4 boys aged between 12 and 14 approached the would-be victim 25 near his apartment in the 12,700 block of North Houston Roslyn Road in Houston shortly after midnight on Thursday. The man told police the boys had pistols, but the man was also armed and fired at them outside of his Willow Plaza Apartments home. 3 of the boys were taken to hospital with one 12-year-old in the ICU after being shot multiple times. The 2 others, a 12 and 13-year-old, suffered non-fatal injuries, including, according to the Harris County Sheriff's Office, the boys involved also lived in the same apartment complex. Jeez. Let's listen to the update here.
My name is Saul Suarez. I'm a major with the Harris County Sheriff's Office. Standing with me this morning is Lieutenant Michael Santos, Captain James Wagner, Sergeant Apolito Hernandez, Lieutenant Dennis Wolford, and Lieutenant Steve Tweedy. At approximately 12 a.m. this morning, our patrol deputies responded to a disturbance at the 12,700 block of North Houston Roslyn. Upon their arrival, they encountered multiple juveniles and that were shot. The juveniles range from ages 12 to 14. They were all transported to nearby hospitals. Currently, there's one in critical condition and two in stable condition. Our crime scene investigators and our violent crimes unit investigators responded to the scene and are currently conducting early stages of their investigation. We do have a fourth juvenile detained and also an adult male detained. It is believed the incident occurred due to an attempted aggravated robbery that involved the juveniles attempting to rob the adult male. During the incident, the juveniles approached the male and they were displaying pistols. The adult male retrieved his own pistol and shot the juveniles. We asked the community for your patience because we are going to be out here for a couple of more hours or so, processing the scene, canvassing the area, interviewing our witnesses, interviewing all possible victims, and also the suspects. We do have also investigators at the hospital, and we will provide further results and updates on the condition of the juveniles that were shot. Any questions?
Were you guys able to recover the weapons that these 12 to 14-year-olds had?
Yes, we have recovered weapons so far, multiple weapons so far. We are in the process of looking for more. And also, like I mentioned before, the adult male is cooperating. We did retrieve his pistol also.
I would say play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Don't try and take firearms to rob a neighbor or anyone, and don't expect them to defend themselves. I mean, I find that very ridiculous. Kalisa says, I live in an area that frequently floods when it rains. Roads can be submerged in less than an hour depending on rainfall. Had to learn to avoid driving on certain roads when it rains. Makes sense. Good night, Nana Lana. Rachel says, Kalisa, we used to live in the country and know what roads to avoid in heavy rain and wind due to trees down. Makes a lot of sense, I reckon. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for these two on the other story before. They passed, they passed away, so. All right, one more. One more. What's this one that someone sent me, that Rachel sent me? Photos from rescues where two women fell into a quarry? Into a golf course quarry. They say rescuers have saved a pair of women the day after they plummeted 50 feet down a golf course quarry outside Tampa, Florida, and remained there through a relatively chilly Christmas night. The unidentified victims survived the harrowing fall, and authorities brought them to hospital after first responders conducted a complex rescue mission early Thursday. Wow, they are very lucky. Because I've heard of people that have done this and died. Like they've rolled their car and not been found for days, and they've unfortunately passed away. Let me see if I can find anything. Point of food quarry. Let's see if we can find anything else about it. All right. Not that one. Let's go to AOL.com. Is that even a thing? Actually, no. Let's go to the Idaho Statesman, if it'll let me. Yeah, women found day after falling 50 feet into Florida quarry on Christmas. They say the two women plummeted into a cavernous golf course quarry on Christmas and weren't discovered until the next day. Man, they are lucky. Like, you wouldn't even notice they were there. You wouldn't even know. Let me see if we can go to the Facebook. So there's a emergency. Hey, don't you dare. It's not going to let us. Yeah, look at this. If you were under here, they haven't found bodies of murder victims in places like this for 10 to 15 years. They're lucky they found those women, for real. Hey, don't do that. And there's a John Doe tractor that they were... Yeah, look at the undergrowth. Trying to, like, get them out of here. They should thank their lucky stars. They really should. Were they high while driving the cart? Maybe. Doing wheelies? Yeah, it's insane. They are very, very lucky women. Stop doing that. There we go. Yeah, this is the one that gets me. Like, they've looked for. I was watching a documentary. Where is it? I'll tell you about it. I was watching a UK documentary on. Where is it? All my links are all squished together. Hold on. So it's about a doctor's wife who was murdered. Yeah, it's called Murder in the Village. Who killed the doctor's wife? And they didn't find her body. Her name is Diane Jones, and it's still a cold case today, even though everyone knows it was the husband. Um, it's still not solved as of today. And they found her body. It was a hunting party's beater. So he's the guy who's out in front and he whacks the ground to make the pheasants and birds fly into the air so they can shoot them. He was doing that and he found her body. If it wasn't for that, she probably would have sat there for another, I think it was like a year after she went missing. Uh, she could have been there for, 15 years. So these ladies are very, very lucky. Interesting documentary, a little slow. I think in America it's called Prime Suspect Murder in Suburbia. If you're in America, they changed the title of it. This is the American title, Prime Suspect Murder in Suburbia. The original title is Murder in the Village, Who Killed the Doctor's Wife. That's the UK title. So you can probably search either one to find it. It's interesting. They said after his wife Diane vanished in 1983, suspicion centered on her respected GP husband Robert, but he was never charged by police. Now new evidence reveals Diane Jones's secrets. Not too many secrets in the show, but they did outline a pretty good case of why it was probably the husband and why he's never been charged. Who knows? But he did some very strange things, like take his wife off his passport and things like that. John Deere, yeah. Don't know where this one is. The last story you read, that was Florida. This one, yeah, they are very, very lucky. But if you haven't seen this one's from America, called Prime Suspect. Yeah, GP husband Robert Jones. He was let's go to Sportskeeda, whatever that is. And there's the documentary. When did this come out? It should have a date. October 28th. So why I didn't watch it until today, I don't know. But it's a very old case dating back to 1983. And they said she basically lived in a abusive relationship. That's basically what it was. And they said, however, in what can be considered Robert's most suspicious move in the whole incident, he waited for as many as 9 days before alerting authorities to Diane's disappearance. He also did weird things like, again, took her name off his passport. They also found these holes in her skull, which is from a certain type of hammer, which apparently, according to their groundskeeper, there was one of those hammers at the doctor's home, but suddenly, after the wife went missing, the hammer just disappeared. It's called a slate hammer, and they never found it. And it just disappeared after she did. A lot of very circumstantial evidence, but no charges ever laid over Diane Jones's alleged murder. So 9 days, yeah. So if you haven't seen it, that's a decent one to watch. Bit slow in places. It's not as fast paced as Ping likes it. I like to know the information. I'm just like, tell me who killed them, why you think it's that person, and are there any other suspects? No? Okay, great show. Thank you for the documentary. I just want all the information in like one episode. If they're like, find out next week who the killer might be, I'll be like, no, I don't want to watch it. I'm not going to do that. Don't care. Or I'll just skip to episode 3 and they're like, and it was the husband. And I'll be like, did you need 3 episodes to tell us it was the husband? Really? Just tell us in the first episode. You can make a 1 episode show. You don't need 3 hours of TV to tell us. It always annoys me. I'm always like, just tell us who killed them. Yeah. That's it. I think that's it for tonight. I think that's it. I think that's all. Hopefully, that's not the right word. I'm happy to hear that the USA has been kind of quiet. It's been quiet over Christmas. Australia has been more busy than the USA over Christmas. Australia's been bonkers. We've had murders and shootings, and Australians like to fight over Christmas, apparently. You got lost in 60 Minutes Australia? It's pretty good. Maybe they should just tell us when it's not the husband. That's right. I want to see a documentary series called When It's Not the Husband. And I'll be like, that's a great documentary. Yeah, we have Boxing Day sales after Christmas, so they're going on. I had about 50 emails today. Look, I got one from Muscle Nation. I got one from Cosmetic Capital for her. I got one from a place we bought something from 9 years ago, and we've never bought from them again. I got one from a pizza place. See, my pizza place loves me. They know. They're like, have 20% off. I'm like, thank you. That's like 1/5 of a pizza. I could always do with more pizza. What else did I get? I don't know. Just heaps of stores. They're always like, Boxing Day sale, Boxing Day sale. Save 20%. I'm like, tell me when it's 50%. Then I'll be happy. I will see you all tomorrow, though, okay? You like the documentary recommendations? I may have watched every documentary ever in true crime and weather. Maybe. I've watched hundreds. Yeah, Boxing Day sales, that's what we call it here. So if you ever want to know what they're called, that's what they're called. I will see you tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow. People here are shopping with Christmas cash, so maybe crime is down. Maybe. April's B says, I've been shopping the clothes on clearance from Walmart. Great deals. I like that too. Have I watched The Push yet? The Push? What's The Push? Have I watched The Push yet? I don't know what that means. What do you mean? The Push? I don't know what that is. What is that? Is the 2008 one that was on Netflix? What is this? All right, let me look it up. Is that the Darren Brown one? Darren Brown investigates the power of compliance by persuading a member of the public into believing that they have pushed someone to their death. I haven't watched that one yet. I should. I haven't watched that one, but yeah, it would be interesting to see what the mind can do. It's a docudrama? All right, I'll have a look. Jojo says I was at Walmart at 6 a.m. I hope you got all the good sales. No? Okay, I'll look again. Just send me the link. I'll find it. Arthur Seat. Arthur Seat. We have an Arthur Seat down here. We have a place called Arthur Seat. Maybe it's named after the one near you. Shows a case of... All right. Wife pushed off Arthur Seat. Uh-huh. Oh, Cashier or Kashif Anwar. Yeah, I know this one. Yeah. I know this case. This one's been on, I think, Murderer in My Village and a few others. They say a man has been jailed for a minimum of 20 years for killing his pregnant wife by pushing her 50 feet off a cliff edge in Scotland. They say Kashif Anwar, 29, killed 31-year-old. I think you just like me having names that I can't pronounce. Killed his wife when she plunged from a rocky outcrop on Arthur's Seat during a holiday in September 2021. as she lay dying, she's from Yorkshire apparently, told a police officer her husband had pushed her. Yeah, I remember this when this happened, and that's how they got him. Yeah, he's a bastard, that guy. I remember when this happened. I was trying to find a BBC thing about it. Yeah. That's too long. Let's go to Sky News. Last story.
Some breaking news coming into us from Scotland. Edinburgh, 29-year-old man from Yorkshire has been found guilty of murdering his wife in Edinburgh in September 2021. Kashif Anwar was convicted at the High Court in Edinburgh today of murdering 31-year-old Fawzia Javed at Arthur's Seat in Holyrood Park back in 2021. Detective Inspector Bob Williamson said this has been an incredibly difficult and traumatic time for Fawzia's family, who are understandably devastated by her death. Fawzia was much loved and had her life ahead of her with a new baby on the way. This was all cruelly taken from her and her unborn child at the hands of her own husband.
There's been a bunch of these where men have pushed women off of cliffs. There was another one that was really high profile in the last few years too, and they were able to figure out that he pushed her off the cliff so he could run away with his lover. So, Gail said the program has CCTV. I'll watch it. I'll see if I can find it. I don't think I've watched that one. I've watched a lot of documentaries, but if you want a good documentary, Murderer in My Village is a decent series from the UK. I like UK documentaries at the moment. I'm watching a ton of them. I don't like Australian ones at the moment. They get on my nerves. I'm like, that guy has the most stupid accent ever. And I'm like, wait, that's the same accent that I have. Still, it sounds terrible. I need to listen to the people from the UK. Yeah, I'm going to look it up when we get out of here, okay? I'll see you guys all tomorrow for another night, for another episode of Nights with Ping, okay? Yeah, she was pregnant. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to look it up. As soon as I press this button, I'm going to go look it up, okay? That's right. He got his wish. Only his lover and him live in a cell. That's right. Good night, everyone. I will see you tomorrow. Hope you had a great Christmas. And I'm going to go eat. I'm so hungry. I'm going to go eat something. Good night. Bye.